Have you ever had that nagging feeling that life is just speeding up and you're stuck watching it pass by? You wake up, go through the motions, and suddenly realize another year has gone by. You might be busy, but it feels like you're not really living. What if I told you that this isn't just a phase? It's a sign that something's off, and the solution isn't as impossible as it seems. Stick around, because we're about to dive into why you're feeling like this and how you can change it. Time is something we all experience, but how we perceive it can vary drastically. Some days it feels like life is flying by, and other days it feels like time is dragging. But have you ever stopped and really thought about how time seems to slip away when we're not paying close attention? You wake up early, check your phone, get to work, and before you know it, the sun has set. The days blur together in a series of routines, but when you reflect on the past month, year, or even decade, it can feel as if those days didn't truly count. They were filled with tasks and obligations, but were they filled with meaningful experiences? And the big question, are you truly living or simply existing in the rush of your daily life? This is something many people face, especially when life feels like it's speeding up around them. You might feel like there's always something else you should be doing, or that time is slipping away faster than you can grasp it. But the real issue often lies in how we approach our time. The truth is, time doesn't actually move faster as we get older, but our perception of it changes. When you're busy checking things off your to-do list, your days tend to feel like a blur. That's why it's so easy to look back and wonder, what happened to all that time? But here's the thing, you're not alone. So many of us are caught in a cycle of simply reacting to life instead of actively engaging with it. The feeling of time passing too quickly is often tied to the lack of intentionality in how we live. So the real question is, how can you break out of this cycle and start feeling like you're truly living again? Now that we've addressed how time seems to move too fast, let's look at the emotional side of this experience. There's a reason why living on autopilot takes such a heavy toll on our mental health. When life becomes a series of automatic responses to external demands, it can start to feel draining. Yes, you're getting things done, but what are you actually gaining from it? What are you really experiencing? Living without intention can lead to burnout, stress, and dissatisfaction. It's easy to get stuck in this loop of working hard, doing tasks, and meeting expectations. But if you're not actively pursuing what truly excites and fulfills you, it's easy to feel like you're simply going through the motions. The daily grind might keep you occupied, but it's not enough to make you feel alive. When we're disconnected from our true desires, we often start to feel like we're just waiting for something to happen. We tell ourselves, once I get through this project, or once the weekend comes, things will feel more fulfilling. But when that time arrives, we often find ourselves waiting for the next thing, and the cycle repeats. It's as if we're living for the next event, rather than enjoying the moments as they come. It's important to remember that this kind of emotional exhaustion isn't sustainable in the long run. If you don't take action to change your current way of living, you might find yourself growing resentful of time, wishing you could rewind and live more meaningfully. But there is hope, and it's not about adding more activities to your schedule, it's about changing how you approach them. So how can you break free from this cycle and start living with intention? The first step is to recognize that intentional living is not about being busy or productive all the time. It's about being present in each moment and making choices that reflect your true values, passions, and goals. Living with intention means being deliberate about how you spend your time. It's about doing things that matter to you, not because they're expected or because they're on your to-do list, but because they genuinely bring you joy, fulfillment, and connection. Intentional living is about bringing more meaning into your daily life instead of waiting for something outside yourself to change. It's about living according to your deepest desires and purpose, which can bring you a profound sense of peace. How do you start practicing intentional living? The first step is reflection. Take some time to assess your current routines, habits, and choices. Are they aligned with what you truly care about? Are you spending time on things that nourish your soul, or are you getting lost in the noise of everyday demands? Reflection helps you find clarity on what matters most. One simple exercise to kickstart intentional living is to do a time audit. Track how you spend your time for a week and then look at your schedule. Where are you spending the most energy? Do you feel fulfilled by these activities, or do they drain you? This audit will help you understand where you might need to make changes in your daily life. By identifying what energizes you, you can intentionally focus more on those things. Next, take that insight and start making intentional choices. Instead of saying yes to every request, start saying no to things that don't align with your values. Replace time spent experiment on tasks that don't fulfill you with activities that ignite your passion. Whether that's exercising, spending quality time with loved ones, or learning something new, the goal is to create a life that reflects your true desires. Each choice can help you carve out a life that is more meaningful and authentic to you. By practicing intentional living, you can regain control over your time and your experience of it. You'll no longer feel like life is passing you by, but instead you'll feel engaged in every step of your journey. Living intentionally brings clarity, joy, and a renewed sense of purpose. We've talked about how to become more intentional with your time, but the next crucial step is learning how to truly embrace the present moment. Too often, we're either dwelling on the past, replaying old mistakes, or anxiously awaiting the future, thinking, once I get there, everything will be better. But in doing so, we miss out on the richness of the now. Mindfulness is a powerful tool for embracing the present moment. It's not about doing anything special. It's about being fully aware of what's happening right in front of you. When you're mindful, you're paying attention to your thoughts, feelings, and the world around you without judgment. You're simply experiencing it without any distractions or preoccupations. It's about allowing yourself to be fully immersed in what is happening in the present, whether that's enjoying a meal, chatting with a friend, or simply sitting in silence. In those moments, you're connected with your surroundings in a way that helps you fully experience the richness of each second. You might be thinking, I don't have time to practice mindfulness, but the beauty of mindfulness is that you can practice it in small, everyday moments. Whether you're eating, walking, or even working, you can choose to be fully present. Focus on the sensory details, the taste of your food, the texture of the ground beneath your feet, the sound of your breath, or the warmth of the sunlight on your skin. These small moments, when embraced fully, can be a source of immense peace and joy. They help you feel more grounded in the present and less caught up in the endless cycle of time passing by. It's not about setting aside time to practice mindfulness, it's about integrating it into your day-to-day activities. Additionally, embracing the present doesn't mean you have to abandon your plans or goals for the future. It just means that you're not waiting for the future to feel fulfilled. You're learning to enjoy the journey rather than fixating solely on the destination. You can still plan ahead, but when you embrace the present, you understand that your happiness isn't dependent on the future. You can be content and fulfilled right now, even as you move forward in life. It's about finding balance between planning for tomorrow and being happy today. The more you practice mindfulness, the more you'll notice the beauty and joy in everyday moments. Time will feel less like something that's slipping away and more like something that's yours to savor and enjoy. The more present you are, the more you'll realize how much life has to offer in every single moment if you only slow down enough to truly experience it. If you've ever felt like life is passing you by, remember, it's not too late to make a change. By living intentionally, embracing the present, and making choices that align with what truly matters to you, you can stop feeling like you're just watching life happen. It's about being aware of your time, making the most of the moments that matter, and fully engaging with your life as it unfolds. Life is too short to let it slip by unnoticed. Start living with intention today, and you'll begin to feel more connected to the present and to the life you want to create.